Hello everyone, I am Alexa Donne, and if you are watching this, congratulations, you finished a book! Or you want to know what happens when you do finish a book. Either way, welcome. That is what I'm talking about today. You've got a book, now what? First off, stop. Don't do anything. Put your book away, don't even look at it, give your book time to breathe. The worst thing you could do for yourself is rush into anything, whether that's rush to publish, rush to edit it, rush to send it off to other people. That puppy needs to sit. We tend to get way too close to the things that we're writing, especially drafts, and a little distance can go a long way. I'm not going to give you hard and fast rules about how long you should wait, though I will say that longer is better. So play it by ear. How long can you possibly go without looking at or working on your book? Whatever that length of time is, do it. Generally, I recommend at least 2 weeks, but if you can double, triple, or exponentially make that a lot longer, that would be great. Some of the best revisions I've done is when I haven't touched my book for 9 months or more. In fairness, that was after being on sub for a while, so I simply hadn't looked at the book since the summer, and then I came back to it in the early spring to do a revision. But it was a fantastic revision because I had the distance that I needed from the project. But when you have first completed a novel, wait at least a few weeks or a month. I promise, when you go back to read it, you're going to see things you did not notice before, and you'll also find that with a bit of distance, it becomes a lot easier to edit and kill your darlings. Next, you're going to revise. Revision is an essential part of the book writing process, and without it, you do not have a complete book. The more you revise, the better, though there is such thing as revising too much. Luckily, the next step I'm going to share with you goes hand in hand with revision, and that is getting yourself a critique partner. Friends and family generally are not the best readers for your book, as typically they don't want to hurt your feelings, so they're going to be pretty nice in their feedback and not necessarily honest. You're going to want to find a critique partner who is more or less a stranger to you, but who also is well versed in the genre that you're writing. Typically, CPs are fellow writers, though you don't necessarily have to be a writer to be a great CP. Many agents and editors are not writers themselves, and yet they give amazing editorial feedback. That's essentially what a critique partner does. They're going to give you editorial feedback on your book, an outsider's perspective that'll give you perspective so that you can revise better. There's so much to go into about critique partners, and as I oft say, I'm saving that for another video. But generally know that you definitely need to find yourself a critique partner once you finish a novel. Research. You need to research. Starting with what publishing path you want for your book, if one at all. You may have completed a novel and you've decided that novel's going straight into a drawer. But typically, people hope to see their books published. If you're thinking about self-publishing, do the due diligence and the research. If you want to be traditionally published, do the due diligence and the research. If you want to query this book, lots of research again. I think I say due diligence and research in every video that connects to agents in the industry. The reason I stress research so much is that we pour a lot of time, heart, and hope into the books that we work on. So you don't want to throw away your book's best chances because you didn't do a little digging around the internet to find out what the best option for it was. Hastily publishing or querying a novel can ruin your chances on that book. That said, it's also really important to set expectations, especially if you've just completed your first book. This book might not ever be ready to query. This book might not get an agent. This book might not ever be published. But every book we write has value. Every book teaches you something else about your writing process and how to write a novel. And every book you write is better than the last one. Remind yourself that by finishing, you've already accomplished a lot. You've done more than most people who set out to write a novel ever do. You've finished. This book has value, but value isn't always measured by publication. Go into the post-book process with realistic expectations, be willing to put in the work, and hope for the best. But seriously, again, revise. There is nothing more important that you can do for your book than put in the time and the effort to properly revise it, and possibly revise it more than once. And lastly, celebrate. Pat yourself on the back, eat a cookie, grab a drink, whatever floats your boat. You can do the celebration during that time when you are not touching your book. Catch up on all the television you've been missing. Go see the friends that you haven't seen for months because you have been diligently writing your novel. Just take a breath and enjoy the fact that you wrote a book. And that's it. You've written a book and now you know what to do next. Kind of. Because as with everything when it comes to writing and publishing, there are so many layers. And that's the whole reason this channel exists. And as I say in every video, I'm gonna make another video about that. So take a look at other videos on my channel, subscribe if you like what you see, and happy writing!